So, tell me about the hat. What we got going on there?
This is the poetry hat.
Poetry. So you're gonna read me some poetry.
I'm going to read you a short story.
Right.
You know how you were reading to those little kids, Dr. Seuss?
Yes, yes. I do it every year for the Pleasant Gap Elementary Schools, second and third grade.
Okay. I want to
Giving
take,
back to the community. So this is your giving back to the community? Is that what?
yes.
Okay.
And this, I got to put my shawl on.
Where's your, I need Toby to come get you.
You're making this like,
Can't she do something like have a little bit more oversight on what you're doing in the middle of the night?
I have my shawl on because I'm getting ready to read poetry.
Okay. All right.
It's not really poetry. It's a short story.
A short story.
That I read in first grade.
Okay. So in first grade, you were like 6 years old, would have been 1950.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the story that we learned to read from.
Okay. So this is in school in first grade.
In school, public school.
Yeah. I have no idea what this story is, but I'm very intrigued.
Okay. I'm going to read it to you because I've got my story reading hat and my shawl on.
Okay. So so you have the book in your hand?
Yes.
Well, maybe you should hold it up so in case people want to read it to their kids. Is this that kind of book?
Okay, but I'm going to tell you the name of it first.
Okay, what's the name of the book?
The name of it is L'Hôtel des Petits Sambonards.
No idea.
Well, English, I gave it to you in French.
You did give it to me in French, and
Yeah,
I don't know French.
L'Hôtel means the story.
Okay.
Day is of.
Uh-huh.
Petit.
Small.
Small. Symbol.
Oh, you got little black symbol.
And noir. Noir in French.
Noir is black in French, yes.
Right. So
right.
I'm going to read you what I learned to read from.
Now, you had this read to you in first grade.
We had to read it in class.
You had to read it in class, and you didn't like fake it like I did, Dr. Seuss. You actually read it.
Yes.
Okay, give it to me, man.
So because you have said all these years that there might be some reason why you're here and I might have had something to do with it. I remember I didn't read you a lot of stories.
You did not.
So,
you definitely didn't read me Little Black Sambo. I know that.
So I'm going to read what we had in class. And it was the class book. And we all had copies and we took turn reading.
So this is Cincinnati, Ohio, 1950 required reading for you.
In first grade, yes.
Yes. Okay.
So here's the picture. You can see the picture.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So the story of Little Black Sambo. Here's a picture of him.
Yes.
Little Black Sambo. Okay, here we go. The story of Little Black Sambo. The story of Little Black Sambo. Once upon a time, there was a little black boy, and his name was Little Black Sambo.
I'm following.
And his mother was called Black Mambo. There she is.
Yes, with the handkerchief around her head.
Yes. And the extruding lips.
Don't forget and the extruding lips, yes.
Yes.
Because that's what we all looked like back then.
And his father was called Black Jumbo.
That I see that. Okay. Yep.
Is it getting exciting?
Yeah, this is getting interesting.
And Black Mambo made him a beautiful little red coat.
Right. Hey, you do a good job of this, man. I give it to you.
I should have been reading to you. You would have been a better person.
Yes, yes.
Instead, I let you watch Frankenstein movies at night.
Right. Instead of this enlightening literature. Yeah.
A pair of beautiful blue trousers.
Got it.
And Black Jumbo went to the bazaar and bought him a beautiful green umbrella and a lovely little pair of purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings.
Yes.
It's getting exciting. And then wasn't little Black Sambo grand?
He was grand because he had his new gear.
Yes. They didn't call it gear.
Right. I updated it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have paraphrased.
So he put on all of his fine clothes and went out for a walk in the jungle.
Because that's where we walk.
Yep. Where else would he live? And by, he met a tiger. And the tiger said to him, little Black Sambo, I'm going to eat you up. And little Black Sambo said, oh, please, Mr. Tiger, don't eat me up. And I'll give you my beautiful little red coat. So the tiger said, very well, I won't eat you this time, but you must give me your beautiful little red coat. So the tiger got poor little Black Sambo's beautiful little red coat and went away saying, now I'm the grandest tiger in the jungle. So the tiger has his
Yes,
coat.
he has the red coat. Look at that.
Okay. And little Black Sambo went on, and by, he met another tiger. Oh, what luck, meeting those tigers. And the tiger said to him, little Black Sambo, I'm going to eat you up. And little Black Sambo said, oh, please, Mr. Tiger, don't eat me up, and I'll give you my beautiful, and by this time the teacher would be looking over your shoulder to make sure that you got the words correct. Little blue trousers. So the tiger said, very well, I won't eat you this time, but you must give me your beautiful little blue trousers. So the tiger got poor little Black Sambo's beautiful little blue trousers and went away saying, now I'm the grandest tiger in the jungle. So now he's got his pants on.
Right.
Okay. Little Black Sambo went on, and by he met another tiger. And it said to him, little Black Sambo, I'm going to eat you up. And little Black Sambo said, oh, please, Mr. Tiger, don't eat me up. And I'll give you my beautiful little purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings. But the tiger said, what use would your shoes be to me? I got 4 feet. And at that time when I was in school, I said, yeah, tigers have 4 feet and he only got 2 shoes. This is right. Turned out well for him, I thought. So you haven't got enough shoes for me, the lion said. But little Black Sambo said, you could wear them on your ears. The tiger said, so I could. That's a very good idea. Give them to me and I won't eat you this time. So the tiger got 4 little Black Sambo's beautiful little purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings and went away saying, now I'm the grandest tiger in the jungle. And by little Black Sambo met another tiger. And it said to him, little Black Sambo, I'm going to eat you up. And little Black Sambo said, oh, please, Mr. Tiger, don't eat me up. I'll give you my beautiful green umbrella. But the tiger says, how can I carry an umbrella when I need all my paws for walking with? You could tie a knot on your tail and carry it that way, said little Black Sambo. So I could, said the tiger, eat you this time. So he got poor little Black Sambo's beautiful green umbrella and went away saying, now I'm the grandest tiger in the jungle. Is this getting exciting?
I'm all ears, man. I'm locked in.
And poor little Black Sambo went away crying. Tigers had taken all of his clothes. There he is.
Oh, hold on a second. You got to hold it.
Black Sambo
Yeah.
crying.
Okay, there we go. I got it. Boom. Just in his boxers. He's just in his underwear.
Just got his boxes on. Presently, he heard a horrible noise that sounded like grrr, and it got louder and louder. Oh dear, said little Black Sambo, there are all the tigers coming back to eat me up. What shall I do? So he ran quickly to a palm tree and peeped around it to see what the matter was. We only got about 10 more pages.
I'm not going anywhere.
And there he saw all the tigers fighting and disputing which of them was the grandest. And at last they all got so angry that they jumped up and took off all the fine clothes and began to tear each other with their claws and bite each other with their great big white teeth. And they came rolling and tumbling right to the foot of the very tree where little Black Sambo was hiding. But he jumped quickly in behind the umbrella, and the tigers all caught hold of each other's tails as they wrangled and scrambled, and so they found themselves in a ring around the tree. Then, when the tigers were wrangling and scrambling, little Black Sambo jumped up and called out, "Oh, tigers, why have you taken off all your nice clothes? Don't you want them anymore?" But the tigers only answered, "Grrr." Then little Black Sambo said, "Oh, if you want them, say so, or I'll take them away." But the tigers could not let go of each other's tails, and so they could only say, "Grrr." So little Black Sambo put on all their flying clothes again and walked off. And the tigers were very, very angry, but still they could not let go of each other's tails. And they were so angry that they ran around the tree trying to eat each other up, and they ran faster and faster till they were whirling around so fast that they couldn't see their legs at all. And then they still ran faster and faster and faster till they all just melted away. And there was nothing left but a great big pool of melted butter, or ghee, as they call it in India, around the foot of the tree. About 4 more pages. Now, Black Jumbo was just coming home from work. This is Black Jumbo. Notice how big his lips are and everything?
Move it a little. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Right? Big soup coolers. Well, this was our role models because I was reading it in school with my teacher.
Right. This is when you're first starting to read.
Yes.
Great. That is a great selection to start molding young minds, I believe.
Correct. Now Black Jumbo was just coming home from work with a great big brass pot in his arms. And when he saw what was left of all the tigers, he said, "Oh, what lovely melted butter. I'll take this home to Black Mambo for her to cook with." So he put it all into the great big brass pot and took it home to Black Mambo to cook with. When Black Mambo saw the melted butter, wasn't she pleased? "Now," said she, "we'll all have pancakes for dinner." You can see the big smile on her face.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Kind of like the old Aunt Jemima smile.
Yes. This was first grade. This is your education.
Yes.
First grade.
So Dr. Seuss has got nothing on us.
Right.
You guys didn't read about little Black Sambo.
We did not. Thank God.
You're interrupting. We got 2 more pages.
I'm sorry. My bad.
So she got flour and eggs and milk and sugar and butter, and she made a huge big plate of lovely pancakes. And she fried them in the melted butter, which the tigers had made, and they were just as yellow and brown as little tigers. Last page. And then they all sat down to supper, and Black Mambo ate 27 pancakes. 27 pancakes.
That's a lot of pancakes.
Black Mambo? Come on. Black Jumbo, the father, ate 55 pancakes.
Wow.
But little Black Sambo ate 169 pancakes because he was so hungry. The end.
Wow. Wow. And just think that was the start of what most would say was a successful professional career once you were an adult. And it all started with Black Sambo. Just think where you would have been without that story.
Oh, no, that wasn't the only story. When I was in 7th grade, we read Huck Finn, and his favorite character was Nigger Jim.
Yes. American classic. Yeah. American classic in 7th grade.
And Nigger Jim, right. And his buddy was Nigger Jim.
Nigger Jim. Of course it was. Because that's, I mean, yeah. That's appropriate. So.
And don't.
I'm sorry.
Interrupt me, Brian. I'm on a literary bent right now.
Uh-huh.
And you're kind of interrupting it.
My bad.
And what added to my what do you call it?
Anxiety, maybe?
Anxiety? No, I didn't know to be anxious. I wasn't happy about it, but I didn't know then. Then in my freshman year in college.
Uh-huh.
English.
So this would have been 63-ish.
63-ish, yes.
Okay.
We read The Nigger of the Narcissus, John Conrad.
Right. Required reading at the University of Cincinnati, I'm assuming.
Nigger of the Narcissus. Now, John Conrad, it is a...
Hold on, you broke up. John Conrad?
Novella.
John Conrad is what?
It's a favorite novella. It's like important literature.
Right.
Now, the nigger was a Moor.
Right.
So they could have called it the Moor of the Narcissus. The Narcissus being a big ship.
Yes. Could have. But this is the 60s. And the book was written in 50s?
No,
40?
I think the book was written a long time before that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's like reading for educated people, I guess.
Right.
Now, they didn't say, well, Daryl is going to be the only little Black person in class. This might not be a good story. We might be able to find something else besides the nigger, the Narcissus, where we get to say nigger every 3 or 4 minutes.
Right. And you're the only Black person in the class and everybody's just throwing it out there.
Yes.
Right. Now, and the deepest part of that, what I was going to ask you is, that was 7th grade when this previous summer, you found out you were going to an all-white school and you had some anxiety about going to this all-white school because...
Well, that was because that summer before, there was this kid called Emmett Till. I think they've got some programs out of him now, but...
Many.
He had gone down to Mississippi for the summer, and I guess he whistled at some white lady. So
who later on her deathbed said it never happened.
Correct. So they beat him, opened his face up, and if you've seen this series, his mom said she wanted the world to see what they did to him. So she had an open casket. And
right.
It was the most gruesome thing. Well, my mom was making me go to this white school.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to go to the Black school that my brother went to around the corner. And because I didn't have any rent money, I lost.
You didn't have much say. You couldn't scrounge up enough ducats.
So off the busing, I was short. Because if I had gotten any money, it would have been my allowance, and that wasn't going to be enough to buy my mom off to let me go to the school where my brother went, my older brother.
Right.
So that summer, I kept telling him I didn't want to go, but I didn't want to tell him why. Because I was afraid that if they would do something like that to Emmett Till.
Who was your age about?
Yes. He was 2 years older.
Uh-huh.
He was 14. That if they would do that to him, they would do it to me.
Right.
So why are you sending me out there in that environment where somebody could do something like that? So, but she didn't give in. Luckily, she didn't give in. And off I went. But they had a magazine back then. I don't even know whether they still have it or not. It was called Jet. and it was kind of like the black magazine, that
Yes.
Ebony. So my uncle had the Jet magazine on the table, and I could see the open it up and see.
Yeah, like his face was all swollen and mangled.
Yes. And so I'm thinking that could happen to me. So why do I want to go out and go to school with people that would do something like that to a 14-year-old?
Right. So then you're in this class and they're reading the book, and you know, what are you thinking?
Well, you know, like we had been called niggers by that time, because you start getting called nigger
Right.
back at that time from an early age.
Right.
Well, I was trying to figure out, well, why are we reading a book that's got a character called Nigger Jim?
Right.
But Huck Finn is
American is apple pie, and
right. So if you want to be in the class, then sit in there and read Huck Finn.
Right.
And
your
then,
discomfort level be damned.
I don't even think they thought about it.
Right. No.
Didn't even think about it. And then when I was in college, well, you know, and I have had this discussion. You know, I have this brother, Pat, who is
Dr. Pat,
the other PhD in the family. Yes.
Right.
Well, you know, his master's is from Harvard.
Uh-huh.
And his PhD is from Cincinnati, where my undergraduate degree is from.
Right.
And he's like very, very literate. And as we have talked before, I stopped reading literature. I only read facts, because I was such a dumb person until 74, when I realized, well, actually I went to see Dick Gregory talk one day.
Uh-huh.
And he said some things about the Kennedys, about Mumu Giancana, Judith Exner, who was the girlfriend of the mob boss in Chicago, talked about how the CIA had killed Alante in Chile and someone in Venezuela. I said, I had never heard that. How could?
Right. And you're like 30 at this time, right?
30, yes.
30.
And he talked about the assassination. And then he talked a little bit about Native Americans. And I said, why don't I know all these things? So that year, 74, I have never read a book of fiction.
You're all nonfiction, biographies.
Because I'm embarrassed about having been so ignorant.
Right.
And I'm a black guy.
Right.
And I didn't even know about Native Americans. You know, I thought they scout people.
Yeah, because that's what you saw on TV.
Thank you.
The Cowboys and Indians.
Correct. And they always went back on their word. Like if we took their land and they moved over someplace else, well, they wouldn't stick to it. They would want to keep the other land that we wanted. So, all we wanted to do was just move out into the ocean, and they couldn't even do that, you know. So it took me, I don't know how many years to figure out, you're dumb. And it really wasn't. I went to schools where that didn't matter. So like Happy Little Slaves.
Right. You have to actually proactive. And that's still true today, that you have to be proactive about what you're learning.
Correct. I went to my brother's black high school in my senior year, because I wanted to get Head Start, so I didn't have to take very many classes.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I have like the afternoons off for football and basketball. So I took American history, and I'm thinking, I'm going to my first black school, and I'm going to learn some American history. Well, it turns out my professor or teacher was white, and we learned that we were like happy little slaves, and there was Booker T. Washington and
George Washington Carver, probably.
Yeah, the Peanuts.
Frederick Douglass, maybe.
Frederick Douglass, there you go. That was it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of it too for me.
I had no idea until I still can't say till I was woke, because that's my English teacher would be standing behind me, until I realized
that you were awoken.
That I owe it to myself to be more aware of my surroundings than I was. Right. So I started reading Black history, and I could not believe that A black man invented the traffic lights. A black man
Right.
invented the that thing that you use in the harvest.
Cotton gin. Are you talking about the cotton
Yeah,
gin?
the cotton gin. And then it turns out, I don't know why I didn't know this. I do know why, because I went to their schools.
Right.
If a black person got a patent, they took it from him. Black
Right.
people didn't own patents.
Couldn't own patents. Right.
And so I've been, let's see, if that was 74, and this is 20, so that's like, what, 26 years?
It's 46
45
years.
since I read a book of fiction, because I'm too embarrassed about how naive I was about American
Right.
history.
Right. And it's a constant quest
Yes,
for knowledge.
correct. And just like I said to you,
Hold up, you froze. All right,
if
you're
you
back.
say Tuskegee to the average person, if you say Tuskegee to the average person, they would think of the airmen. They
Right.
would say, oh, I know that one, the airmen. And you said, no. They would say, yeah, but the airmen. No, the government had a study.
Experiment that they were doing.
Well, actually, to be truthful, the government didn't give these guys syphilis. They came into the health department with syphilis. The government didn't tell, it was in Alabama, but the federal government was behind the study too.
Right.
So they didn't tell the guys that they had syphilis. And even after they got a cure for it, penicillin,
They weren't giving them the cure.
they weren't giving them the cure because they wanted to see what
The effects.
syphilis does. So they told the guys that they just had bad blood. So all those years, 20-something years, maybe, these guys would come into the clinic and they would treat them for bad blood so they could just see how syphilis takes you down, like eat your brain out and all the other stuff.
Right.
And in 1997, Bill Clinton gave those survivors and their families an apology. But I'm willing to bet that if you say Tuskegee, the first thing that comes to most people's mind are airmen.
Right. Right. Because that's not going to be in the history books that we learn from.
Right. Or how about this one? This was one that really threw me because we had a holiday called Columbus Day.
Yes. We still do. We just don't get the day off.
Well, yeah, now we just go buy stuff. But back when I was younger, Columbus Day was the day this guy discovered America. Now, I never was smart enough to say, wait a minute, how did he discover people that were already here?
Right.
It
doesn't make sense.
He just discovered America, and the good thing he did. Well, I didn't have to make sense. It was told to me.
Right.
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It was a song. And it was a holiday, not a go shopping day. It was a holiday. So I said, and then I read a book by a guy named Howard Zinn.
Right.
Who is a professor of history, I think at Harvard. The Real History of America.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to put that in this post because, unless you saw Good Will Hunting, that's actually where I discovered the book in 1997, coincidentally, with Good Will Hunting, and they talk about the book in Good Will Hunting. You saw the movie?
Really? Huh?
When he's first meeting Matt Damon in his office, and they're out talking about history books, and Matt Damon says that'll blow your hair back or something like that.
Well,
so I had to go.
When he
said
said
look that, what's that?
Well, when he said that that Columbus. Well, first of all, he didn't come to America, but that's just beside the point.
Right.
And there were already people here to discover. So they might have an argument about who discovered what. But anyway, he would send the Native Americans out for gold because he had to take it back to Queen Elizabeth or Isabella, whichever.
Right. Isabella.
And if they didn't bring enough gold back, he would make sure one of their hands got chopped off so they'll know next time to find more gold.
Right.
Well, I went back and looked in my books that I read when I was in school, and it's not in there.
That part of it, no. Yeah, I mean, you're not. It's like you're not even getting half the story. You're getting like a quarter of the story, and it's so sanitized that you're not really learning about it, because that whole Columbus Day thing started becoming like, oh, okay, let's call it what it is. That wasn't until I was at Penn State that started happening, and they started talking about how
What
that
Columbus
shouldn't be
Day?
a holiday.
Uh,
Now,
it,
educated people obviously knew it, but I'm talking about as a nationwide dialogue. I was in college when they started talking about that. Are you
I guess
are you thinking it was before that and I wasn't paying attention? Or
I'm thinking that might be about the right time.
yeah, it was
I
like
was in my doctorate is, and don't laugh. I
I
have a
can't promise.
I I have a doctorate. Let's see, doctor of philosophy.
How funny is it
Doc,
that you have your PhD and it just doesn't fly out of your mouth? You are such the non-academic. They must hate you on that campus because you can't
I,
like say it like you're breathing. It's philosophy or something, right?
oh, okay,
What's
I got it now. I have a doctor of philosophy in accounting. That's what it is.
doctor? So I'm not going to be hearing about you faking this because you can't think like you're just not caught up in the title because
No,
that's kind of how you roll.
I just
So,
did it for a
but
joke.
just promise me I'm not going to hear about you really never got your PhD.
And you
And
saw it's embossed too, so you can check it. You
okay,
know,
all right,
down there, you saw it. It's hanging up and it's embossed too. Like you can put your finger on it.